My name is Allison Carter. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested. They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there.
People built these tunnels. There's a lot, and elite celebrities, they go down there for parties underneath the Getty.
Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres. Do you want me to keep going?
I don't want anybody's money.
Denzel always told me we'd be at the parties. He said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there.
I'm telling you right now that something is really wrong. Really wrong. The world will find out soon.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the NellyVille show too. Today I'm doing a video, another Diddy video, and I received some comments last night on a video I did a few days ago relating to one of Diddy's accusers. She did an interview, and I had a couple of viewers last night who let me know that there was another victim that, spoke on things that I wasn't aware of. In the previous video that I did about Diddy and the accuser interview, she said that Denzel Washington, she kind of was saying that Denzel Washington did not know what was going on, and so I thought he was innocent. Even though I've been hearing things, I thought he was innocent. Like, Denzel Washington, no. And she said that he left out of that party and he did not stay. So I was unaware that he probably may not be innocent. Allegedly. Everything in this video is alleged. So I want to say thank you to Peanut924 and Angie Thiel. Thank you guys for giving me that information last night. I stayed up looking into this other victim. I had seen videos pop up, but I didn't really watch them, so I didn't know like it was this deep. And I stayed up. I could barely go to sleep. It was kind of like scary. Like, this girl telling her story is really scary. You guys, it was like, man, every time I think that this story cannot get any deeper, oh my God, it goes deep. So we're gonna get into this video today, because I want to let you guys, for those who probably have not seen this girl or have not watched her videos, I didn't. I guess probably one of the reasons I had not watched her videos, because usually, like most people, we watch interviews when there's, creators who interview these accusers or victims and things like that, and I hadn't seen her on any big platform, so I didn't know if it was real or what, so I was never intrigued to click on anything. So yeah, we're gonna get into that today and see what is going on here.
My name is Allison Carter. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested. They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there.
People built these tunnels. There's a lot, and elite celebrities, they go down there for parties underneath the Getty.
Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres. Do you want me to keep going?
I don't want anybody's money.
Denzel always told me we'd be at the parties. He said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there.
I'm telling you right now.
It's crazy because, in the last video that I did, I talked a lot about that victim and how I didn't believe that she was actually a victim because of the way she was behaving. Her demeanor and everything was just odd to be a victim. Well, this girl here is definitely, if what she's saying is true, because everything is alleged, if everything she said is true, this is what a victim, she's a victim. And it is just so sad because she's been trying to tell this story for several years now. Come to find out, she's been trying to tell this story for a while. And she's having a hard time getting the help that she's been asking for. It's just so sad to watch her videos. I just went through a rabbit hole of videos and TikToks and YouTube and so many different videos of her putting out information and finding out her backstory and her history and things that she's still going through now as an adult. So it's heartbreaking, and she revealed even more than what we know. If you have not watched her story, she like deep dive into things that was not like a lot of people are not talking about.
Now, that something is really wrong. Really wrong. The world will find out soon.
Ali Carter has been speaking out about Diddy, Denzel Washington, and major celebrities, detailing these sick parties and scary tunnels that lead to underground cities. It looks like Ali Carter could be one step in the right direction when it comes to taking down Hollywood and those evil forces.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. This is probably one of my most requested videos. You guys want me to dive into Ali Carter and the allegations she has against Diddy, so many more famous people, and the entire Hollywood community. Now, I have to be upfront, I don't know where this Ali Carter came from, but we're gonna go.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not more. Well, there is a lot of information out there. There are videos, but I don't know why it wasn't popping up more. Like, I'm just now seeing more. I guess like I was kind of passing over. I do remember seeing her face on a couple videos, but like I said, I never did like really click and to see what was going on. And this girl is probably one of the victims that has the most information. And she seemed very traumatized. She talks about how she's scared. She feared for her life. She's not being taken seriously, or at least she has not been up to now. And she was one of the first ones trying to let people know that all this stuff was going on. And the crazy part is, I don't understand why she's not being protected. She's not going after money. She stresses that and let that be known in her videos that it's not about money. She wants justice. She has not tried to seek any type of monetary compensation. And if anybody deserved it, it would be her, because this is a victim for real, allegedly. And it's just so sad that, if you go dig and see what's going on with this girl, you will realize that she's not being protected. And I wonder why. She talk about people following her, her life being threatened, and things like that. And no one is taking her serious. Even the professionals, the officials that she go to report, or have went to report the things that has happened to her, it was swept under the rug, as if they are trying to protect these big name people. Her story really need to be put out there. Her story, when you listen to it, it will send chills through your body. It kind of had me like, last night I was so unsettled. I stayed up late just watching her videos and just looking at so much, and it was like so unsettling. This girl really needs protection.
Go through everything that she's alleging. Again, I don't want to say that this is true or not, because again, I don't even know where she came from, but her videos are confirming a lot of the things that people suspect about what's going on with the elite. Allison Carter, also known as Ali, is a survivor of child trafficking and has alleged that the rapper's parties were not just gatherings but ritualistic. She goes on to say that she is one of those victims, revealing that she was once at a Diddy party as one of the party favors, which sounds disturbing, especially when you keep in mind
one of the
that
things that she said a lot in her videos, that the children were referenced as party favors. Party favors. Are you serious? She talked about all the other children that was there, and these underground tunnels, and that lead to different communities and places, like secret communities and residences and things like that. It's crazy. And it make you wonder, because you always see things about missing children, and it's like, where are these children going? Why are they not accounted for? How is it possible that these many children could go missing here in the United States and they're never accounted for? Some just don't add up with that.
were allegedly speaking about children. Ali shared that after going viral in 2020 that she and her family lost their home, animals, and everything they had. She's had to completely change her life after speaking out, and she goes on to say that Denzel Washington is as bad as Diddy. Ali shares that
Okay, I have to stop right there because that's one of the things that I did, like in the last video, I thought that Denzel could possibly be innocent. And it's so crazy that there are so many names that come up of people that you like, what? They were involved? They had something to do with this? Because the image that they have you know, the public, that the way we look at them, we wouldn't think. And all this is alleged because they're still, like, it's not set in stone. It has to be proof. It has to, you know, we have to wait and see how this plays out. So it's alleged. Some of these people could still be innocent. But it's just so weird. Because you look at them, you're like, no, that it can't be them. She even named, okay, I'm not even gonna say that person yet. We're gonna wait till we get to that part. But yeah, it's just crazy, y'all. It's so, this story, every time I think it cannot get any more bizarre, it do. Every time I just think it can't get any worse, it do.
She's surprised to see that Diddy was in fact arrested because she claims that she's tried to get county officials involved in the past, but ultimately they ignored everything she had to say because, I mean, who's gonna go after him? While I do think Child Protective Services does so much, I don't think that they're gonna be able to intercept Diddy's world.
My name is Allison Carter. In 2020, I went viral. We lost our home, we lost our animals, we lost everything. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested. And I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this bullshit.
Now, with everyone talking about Diddy and sharing their stories, we just talked about Nikki Heaton on the channel. Which if you guys have not seen that, definitely go and check that out. But everyone's coming forward. She was quoted saying that Diddy's parties, they weren't freak-offs. They were ritualistic, sex things. Get it right. It wasn't just adults at these parties. The adults were responsible for these children, SLAVES, that were in the party, and one of those children were me.
Try to tell you everything that we can, and now we have people messaging us, investigators, people that want to talk now, when now it's because it's trending. All the adults are, I left at a certain time, yet you knew children were there. You knew these parties were not okay. They weren't freak-offs. They were satanic ritual. It wasn't just adults in these parties. The adults were responsible for the child that were in the party. And one of those children were me.
What's scary to me is that, yes, I mean, I can't believe that Allie Carter was in this situation that she's alleging, but I also can't imagine, like, are there currently children who are still children who are considered victims? I mean, how, what was the most recent party that he had? And if they're as evil as that she's alluding to, I would assume it happens more often than not, and probably not always seen as a public, 4th of July party. She went on to say that other survivors and victims should be cautious when speaking to authorities, which is...
Yeah, that's one of the things that's so scary, and it just, other people probably thought about that too, but I thought about it like, what if some of these people are scared to come forward or have came forward, and it's probably a lot more victims that have spoken and we just don't know about it. Because from what she said, a lot of the things that, a lot of the reports that she made, the claims that she made was swept under the rug. She even said that Child Protective Services was the supplier. Imagine that. That means this run way deeper. Because I just have a feeling there's a lot of dirty hands in this story. A lot. So many. And it runs so deep that it's going to be a lot of people that may be protected that we may never hear their name in this story. It may be, put out in a way to protect the most important people. Some is going to go under. They're going to have to. One thing about it, Diddy not going to go down by himself. He's not. But, because if he go down, others is going to go down with him. He didn't have a solo party. That's one thing we know. None of his parties was solo. So, and with it involving children, the world is going to have a lot of questions. Where did these children come from? Where were their parents? And how did no one know this stuff was going on? Because I've already had that question. Where was the parents? And how are you going to answer that question? So more than likely, these are kids that nobody was looking for. That was, you know, in Child Protective Services. That sound like, if this story is true, allegedly, let's remember that. If this story is true, it'll make sense why nobody was looking for them. Or probably was, just probably not in our area. Not in the United States. No telling where these children come from. This story is starting to get so scary and weird. It's just, it's crazy.
Sad to think, but she is under the impression that these people are not reliable and may be working to take inventory. You know, if it's a lot bigger than Diddy, a lot more powerful people, they may want to get rid of those, you know, those witnesses, opposed to, you know, letting all of these celebrities and these elites fall and go into prison. I mean, that's just not going to happen. We're not going to see 10 billionaires go into prison. We're going to see, you know, hundreds of victims disappear before that. She said we were...
That's crazy. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. It's just, you know, we know it's evil in the world. Everybody knows that. But I really hope that that's not the case. And the ones who should be held responsible need to be held responsible. The sad part is that there's so many elite people that we're gonna see some of our most favorite actors, rappers, singers, and people that held this positive image go under and be tarnished. And then what does that leave? What does that leave? Because, man, I've heard some names. I heard some names. They even have a list of names, and that's not even it. And I've seen a lot of people on that list. I'm talking about people that you wouldn't even believe on that list, and the list is very long. So I don't even, like he said, it's probably true. They're going to protect these people, and I hate to even see it or think that something happened to these victims. So I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it, y'all. I just hope that things come to the light and in a positive way for these victims, that they get justice. It's not fair. It's not right. These were children. They were not protected. And just go to show you can't trust anyone. Anyone. You just can't trust anyone. These kids need to be protected, man. What's wrong with people?
Followed the night that Diddy was arrested. I left a place that I was in, minding my own business, finally trying to stop for a second and get my life back. And you know what? I'm not even upset about that. Ali emphasized that any money involved in these situations were blood money, whether it was used to silence people or not, and made it clear that she didn't want anybody's money. She and her family relied on everyday individuals who would step up and help when possible.
Now, those who are trying to come at us now, talking like, oh, well, now the Diddy's out, now that you can talk. For why? Because we tried to have a case with Child Protective Services. We gave them 8 months worth of evidence. They took that case and they hid it. If you are a survivor and if you are a real victim, be careful. Because these hotline numbers that they're putting out, I don't trust them. They're taking inventory.
And then they shut it down. They're taking inventory. So don't trust them. Don't trust the feds. Don't trust the judges. All y'all. You're all guilty.
That's so crazy. Like, she's afraid because she's already been reporting the things that happened to her, being trafficked. You guys just need to go out there and look at her story. It's only so much that can be covered in this video. This girl has so much to say. She goes into detail about things, and you can tell she's been affected tremendously. She's so traumatized. You can see the pain in her eyes, the pain that runs deep. When you look at her videos and her speaking on her story, and you look at her eyes, the pain, it just runs so deep. It's like you can see the pain goes deep in her soul. You can see it. You can see it, y'all. Like, it's just crazy. It hurt me to watch her tell her story. You could see it. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you don't know a lot about her, because I didn't, thanks to my viewers who commented and told me about this girl, it just showed me way more than what I thought I knew. And I couldn't even go to sleep because you guys commented late last night. And it was around bedtime. But I seen your comments and I'm like, I have to go look and see what's going on. And honey, before I knew it, hours had passed and it was still just so much more. I still have so much more to go look at about this girl. It's crazy and it's very sad. So if you are someone who are triggered, I wanted to put a trigger warning at the beginning of this video because yeah, it runs deep.
Guilty, you're all corrupt. Any attorney that's taking money to defend Diddy,
True, Erica Wolf, I can imagine his attorney. How does she sleep at night?
Exactly.
nasty and vile.
That's blood money.
That's blood money.
That's all blood money. You do know that, right? Whether you take money from him to shut up, whether you take money from him for period, that's blood money. I don't want anybody's money.
That's the
And there's a
problem.
lot of
People don't
graphic
care, they
details that she comes forward with. For example, saying that her pinky is broken. It broke at the age of 12 because there were a lot of people who had her tied up. She expressed surprise at the possibility of Diddy being arrested and convicted. A lot of people called her out, asking whether she's trying to receive clout over this. But she goes on to say that she's unfazed by this assertion, that she in fact went through this and she's going to speak.
I highly doubt if she's trying to receive clout. Because if she was, she could have went about this a whole total different way. Such as the other victim that I did a video on in my last Diddy video. That victim, because to me it wasn't a victim. She was an accomplice. She's going after money. Everything about that interview was off when it comes, or when related to a victim. That wasn't a victim. This girl here seemed like a victim, and if she wanted clout, she could have did so many different interviews. She talked about that in another video I watched of hers, where people was asking why she's not going ahead and doing interviews with these big content creators and things like that. She could have went on different platforms and did interviews and got money and took out a lawsuit and all that. She's not doing that. And that was one of the things I talked about in my last video. A real victim is going to be looking for justice. Even if they eventually go after money, justice will be the number one thing on their agenda. So I don't think she's looking for clout. You could just see the pain in this girl's eyes. She went through some things, and it's still affecting her as an adult. She actually even have a personality disorder. I can't remember the exact name of that specific disorder, but it's a personality, basically a personality disorder. And this girl has about, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen some of the personalities because she did do it on her website, which is AliceArmy.com. You guys can go check that out. And I was watching one of the videos where she was introducing each one of her personalities, and I kind of skimmed through that part, but I'm guessing it was about 8 to 10 different personalities, from a 12-year-old little girl to a 24-year-old girl. Like, they all talk different, had different personas and everything. You guys need to check it out. And when I looked it up to see like why was she going through that, or just try to get a general idea of why she would be going through that, it was talking about based on the trauma that she went through. And a lot of victims from different cases and different things that happened to them have that disorder related to trauma. So yeah, she even talked about the fact that she can't even have children because of what happened to her, and constantly being abused as a child. She's now an adult that can't have a child of her own. So yeah, you guys can go look even further and go to her website, AliceArmy.com. I'm gonna go back there and finish watching. It was just so much, and it was really heartbreaking to hear what I did here
about it, whether people like it or not.
That all circles back to lies, and not everybody can fake their death. Even though some of y'all are sitting pretty, trying to make the excuse of, oh, well, they were so evil, I was just trying to be undercover. No, bullshit. My face is out there. You see all the people running? They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there. But we're still not talking about the kids yet. When are we gonna talk about the kids? Everybody's demanding something from the victims. Why aren't you demanding it from the news? You know he's about to turn into another Epstein, and then the list follows and it circles back into a web. So why isn't anybody demanding any information on the kids? Child Protective Services is your supplier. Is anybody gonna talk about that? You don't live in the world you think you do. Everybody that you think is not guilty is about to show you who they really are. I've been screaming for years.
Now, she does bring up Denzel Washington, and I want to talk about this. A related headline reads, Denzel Washington allegedly stormed out of Diddy's party, yelling, "You don't respect anyone." Denzel Washington appears to be trying to get ahead of what's coming as it relates to his connection to Diddy's freak-offs.
Right.
Word on the street is that some of your favorite celebrities were longtime active participants at these events. And it looks like we're going to see plenty of PR campaigns trying to lighten the blow. One of Diddy's alleged victims, Allie Carter, claims that she was a minor when he and Denzel harmed her at this event. According to the New York Post, Denzel Washington once popped off on Diddy at one of these all-night parties. Denzel screamed at Diddy before he stormed out, a source said, screaming, "You don't respect anyone." Denzel
If what she said is true, it could be possible that he just screamed and did that and made a commotion so that it can be a record of him storming out of a party to try to protect his own behind. Now, I hate to say that. I'm really hoping that I'm just hoping that some of it is not true. I'm not trying to call this girl a liar. I really feel that it's some truth to what she's saying. But you will kind of just hope that some of it is not true because you don't want to believe that people is that horrible and evil. And this whole story just make you realize that how much evil it is out there, especially for our children. It seems like they are hunted, you know, and it's just going to show how much they really need to be protected. Parents need to step up and do what they need to do and say something. The whole story is just so touching for me, especially because it involves these babies and nobody did anything. How is it that people that's famous, that was what we would call normal, you know, us regular people would call a blessing, to be in their shoes, took that for granted? What did you get so bored with the money, and the money wasn't doing anything no more, so you had nothing else to do, there was nothing else to buy or want, so you turn into an evil person like that? Like, if that's the case, I don't ever want the fame if it's got to come at this cost, this price. Like, what?
and his wife Pauletta had been partying until dawn with Diddy, and it looks like they had seen something and stormed out. Meanwhile, a comedian, Brandon T. Jackson, said that Denzel advised him to always leave Hollywood parties before the devil gets there. That's pretty scary to think about. Exactly. He said that Denzel always told me that when we're at these parties, you leave 30 minutes before the devil gets there, okay? He said, I always remember that Denzel would leave these parties early.
Denzel always told me we'd be at the parties. He said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. Okay? And when he would say that, I will always remember that Denzel would leave the parties early. And I follow Denzel out. I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Because when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, there's nothing wrong with going to the parties. Even Christ party with the sinners. You know what I mean? But when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you know, you able to have your integrity. I meant off screen. It's not what you do on screen. What you do off screen is more important.
Now, again, I don't know where Allie came from. I don't necessarily know her story, but she's making a lot of crazy, I mean, not crazy. I mean, it's crazy because you just cannot even imagine that this is real, but they may be very real, very legitimate allegations against this entire industry. And looking at some of these claims about tunnels being under the Getty Museum and leading to celebrities' homes, it makes you question if there is this ring going on right below the Hollywood Hills.
Ron Jeremy, Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy.
Wait, okay, so she's just naming every celebrity, but also Whoopi Goldberg, something about her creeps me out. I'm
not gonna say she's just naming every celebrity, because I did see a list that had those names, at least majority of them online, allegedly. Let's just say alleged everything, because baby, like I tell y'all in every video, NellyVille don't know anything. I don't know anything. So everything is alleged. I'm just going off what's out there. So I don't think she was just naming. She's naming them for a reason. She's just not going down a list of just random celebrities. She naming them for a reason. I really do believe that, because I remember seeing some of those names she just said on that list.
The View every day for years and years. I never liked Whoopi. I never have.
John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going? And I'm still smiling, and I'm gonna continue to smile. And most of the majority of y'all who continue to ask me and gonna tell me that I'm pointing fingers to kiss my natural black ass and miss me with that shit. Bye. And when it comes out, don't come running back. I shouldn't have to get this nitty gritty for people to wake fuck up. I shouldn't have to say something like that for you to be like, oh shit, she's probably telling the truth. It is pathetic that people gotta go here. It's pathetic that it's gonna take somebody to say it was me for somebody to understand.
Clearly, Allie is very hurt.
Yeah.
This person commented, she's so traumatized.
Yeah.
Another person writes, I seriously pray for your safety. And when you see some of these videos where she's getting tearful and talking about this, you can't help but to believe what she's saying, because how could she be so emotional?
We have always said it is about children. It's not just about me. Never just made it about me. I'm just allowed to.
You guys, just look at her eyes. This video here, this clip of her, it hurts me to watch her. You could just see the pain in her eyes in that clip. You could see the pain. You could tell that something happened. This girl is not completely crazy or nothing that people would try to say. This girl is telling truth. And if she not, that would be so shocking. Allegedly. But it just feels that way. It feels that way. You can look at her and see the pain. Who cries those type of crocodile tears? Well, liars will do it. However, I just don't. You can look at her eyes. It's just, she look like she's going through it. So yeah.
Excellent. Telling you right now, a lot of people don't want to get it. There's enough of you to do something, anything. Something happens to us after we get off this live. In the meantime, I want you to know I have dropped paperwork, documents, information.
Our eyes do look so sad.
On
Yeah.
everybody around the world. I'm telling all of you insurance holders that are watching this right now, we are dead. There is no point for you to sit on that information. Do you hear? No point. Please, I beg you. So please let everything out unredacted. As of right now, I've kept everything redacted. I've been letting stuff out slowly for 4 years. Not the main stuff, though. Not unless somebody uncovers it themselves. I'm telling you right now that something is really wrong. Really wrong. The world will find out soon.
This person commented, the FBI should protect her all the time. Another person writes,
I'm wondering, why is this girl not being protected? Why is she being followed and she has no protection at all? And she says she doesn't really have money. Well, she did say that in one of the videos. I don't know if that's still the case right now, but I did see a video where she said her and her adopted mother, I think she's adopted mother, had to like recycle cans to get money or whatever. So she's not looking for money, because if she was, she could have gotten money from just doing interviews and putting this story out. She also talked about the fact that she want to be careful about some of the things that she say, because of the fact that her stories involved minors, and some of them are still minors to this day, that she has to protect them, and legally she just can't put it out there. So yeah, that's pretty scary. But you know, I just don't understand why she's not being protected. I don't understand why she's not being protected. Maybe somebody, you know, should start a fund or something to help this girl get money, you know, and people donate. The people, because she have a lot of people that's backing her. If you go on social media, you will see a lot of people saying that they backing her, and I just feel like if they're not gonna protect her, the people should protect her. She needs to be protected. She already been let down from what her story, when she tell her story, she's been let down her entire life. So she needs to be protected at this point, because people not playing. If you did something, your name needs to come out. I don't care who you is, what you have, you know, have done. If you're a singer, rapper, whatever, that's your problem. You should have thought about that. You don't hurt kids.
Government is involved. Another person added, we can't do anything if we don't know what's really happened and who's involved. We need all the names and details.
Because she got to be careful about exposing herself. She can't just give you all the names. You just want entertainment, but this girl's life is probably at risk. So she can't just give us all the names and tell us everything. I was kind of looking for a video that did that, but she explained that she couldn't, do it like that. And I get it, because no telling, her life is probably in danger. Look how much this girl knows. She know more than, she probably don't know more. They probably just telling enough to try to run their mouth and get paid. But she has to be very careful about what she do. And she don't even have the protection of the government in this, or any, so she have to be careful. I wouldn't say too much either. I'd be careful about what I say, especially without protection. And then if you get protection, how do you know that it's genuine and you're not being set up at this point? Because she already talked about the fact that she has been telling people this for the longest, and these organizations has not been helping her.
There was an alleged affidavit released by Allie Carter, where she goes on to describe the party favors and the truth of what happened here, naming Brian Christopher Williams, Birdman, Denzel Washington, Diddy, and Giselle Robinson.
Now, Young Jock, what are you doing in this case? See what I'm saying? It's people that you wouldn't even think will be involved with this name coming up. Not saying that they did it. It's all alleged. But how in the world all these people name coming up? Are you serious? But crazy part is we have to remember that this is years. It's not just a few months of partying. It's years of him having events. She don't call them events or parties. She call them rituals or whatever. And so everybody describing it a little bit different, but whatever it was, these weird events, there is years of it. So many people, and everybody, act like they wanted to be around Diddy. Probably was just trying to go party, and I don't know. I don't know.
Young Jock. This happened at the Playboy Mansion around 2009 through 2010, when she was in foster care. At this party, there were body cakes, which meant that the kids would lie on the table and people would put food on them, and partygoers would eat off of the children. Everyone was searched, and inside, the DJ sounded the music and lights flashed, signaling that everyone was in and the doors were closed. The signal that the intimacy could begin, and that the kids that were brought to the party were party favors. Ooh. Favors meant that the kids were literally set on the table and people would come and choose them. Once they were done with the kids, they were placed back on the table. Oh my god, I can't even. Partygoers went into a frenzy mindset when they saw, oh my gosh, one was having, animals were involved in an area. Ew.
What?
The main room was big, like a ballroom. There were outlying doors around the edge of the room. Some doors were shut, but you could still see the food SCX table, the party favorite table, and all of this. Oh my god, this is actually too disturbing that we're gonna have to, like, one, censor a lot of this, and two, I don't know if I want to talk about it. She makes claims that there were rules broken. She cried out for help. She ended up getting in trouble. At one point, she was forced to do things with animals that were there. Okay, another girl and I ended up throwing up afterwards, and they rubbed our faces in each other's vomit as punishment. Ugh. In other lives, she goes on to speak about child auctions, and it's so frightening.
But I know you guys have seen this picture. There's a picture of a baby. They got a picture of a bunch of kids tied to a wall. It's actually an auction. They're tied to a wall, and they're hanging on the wall. That's another form of an auction. Some auctions are very pretty. Some you get to stand. Some you got to. I've had some really weird auctions. Buyers come through wherever you're at. Okay, there's a white kid, there's a black kid, there's a black kid, there's an Indian kid, there's a girl, there's a guy. They check everything. They have a taste. They walk into a room and they have basically like how you have, if you walk into a car lot and you're like, can I turn on the car? Can I sit in the car? Can I open the door? That's literally what's going on in an auction.
This is sick.
For children. We'll bring in a child to walk through that, to play in it, to lay in it, to put on their body. This happens on baby farms too. You understand that, right? Where they're holding babies, newborn babies, fresh out of the hospital babies.
This person commented, the world is so evil, it's impossible to be truly happy knowing that there is something like this going on somewhere. Yes. Another person writes, she's been telling these stories for years. Imagine that courage and being ignored while it's still going on. She said, I hate hearing about this, but it is so important. Another person writes, missing children, CPS had to be involved because these are the kids that nobody came looking for. Exactly. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to cover Allie Ellie Carter's statements, her accusations, was that she talked about these tunnels. We've talked about Diddy's tunnels before, but she goes into more detail about the extravagance of it, how there are different rooms and ballrooms and elevators and things like this, and I want you guys to hear what she is saying because it is wild.
There's cities underground, there's warehouses underground, actual homes underground. People built these tunnels. There's a lot of elite celebrities. They go down there for parties underneath the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. I was there for a cock party. We walked through the museum, through the garden area, and employees led us to underground tunnels. There is no way that you can just walk into a tunnel. The entrances and the exits are in your face, but there's no way that you can just walk through tunnels. You'll get stuck. The Playboy Mansions. I met some really elite people when I was there. I had to do jobs with some elite celebrities.
Okay, this like underground town has me spinning. This person commented, Rock City is a legit town underground. Look it up. I watched a TikTok where a guy had to make a delivery there. Another person added, she was in the Run This Town music video that was filmed in the tunnels. Oh, wait, what? Another person added, just imagine if there's a celebrity that faked their death and they've been living in these underground tunnels.
Right.
Well, shoot, I could see it. This person writes, you can't convince me the government doesn't know about these tunnels, which I'm 100% sure they do. There's no way with the amount of money it would cost to build those things and with how the government controls our world. I mean, unless there's this society that is not under the same kind of scope or just undetectable, I don't know. But Ellie Carter has some really scary claims and I feel like I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight. But I want to hear what you guys think of this in the comments below. Here's my
Okay, you guys, that's the end of the video. I definitely had trouble sleeping last night. I had trouble sleeping, and as soon as I woke up, I knew that I had to do this video because I was unaware of what happened with this girl. I didn't know much of anything. Matter of fact, probably not anything. I seen her before. I did see a couple things pop up online, but I didn't know this girl's story. I didn't, and it's just crazy. I wonder how I didn't, like it's so. I figured that if I didn't know, it's probably a lot of other people that didn't know, because I'm always online, and it's just really sad. You really hope when you hear stuff this bad, because you kind of hope that this is not true. You kind of hope that our world is just not that evil. You really hope that, and so you kind of, I'm leaning towards, hoping that this, this girl is, you're not telling the 100% truth, and there's no way these many people can be involved, but also there's no way these many people can be coming forward saying all this stuff and everybody is lying. There has to be some truth. These underground tunnels and things like that, like this girl would have to have an imagination out this world. And the pain in her eyes, I don't see it. This girl is not crazy. There's some truth to what is being said. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys tell me what you think. Thank you to the ones that did come and let me know about this girl in the comments last night. I appreciate you guys. But tell me what y'all think about this, and if it's anybody else I should look into, let me know, because I was so misinformed. I thought that I had seen majority. I knew it was more out there, but I thought I had seen a majority of the major things and the people that was talking, and I had not. So yeah, this story is crazy. I'm gonna continue to follow this story, and anything else I found out, y'all know I'm gonna be back. Until next time, see y'all later.